Oh, here it goes. Oh, we're almost live. Here we go. Almost there. Can we get there? We're finally there. Noah, we are live. Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Takes. I am the Brofect one AJ, and with me, as always, is the man with the numbers, the sportsbook whisperer, the college basketball guru, the golf shark, and soon to be MLB savant, Mr. Noah Engelbretson. Noah, how the hell are you doing on this beautiful Friday?
Dude,
May 20th it is. May 20th,
I'm
2022.
I'm doing fantastic. Got 18 in earlier today, so
Woo!
that was great. Always a great day when you can spend it on the golf course.
Hell yeah, bro. So I got to ask though, because obviously the PGA Championship, we'll talk about that just a little bit, but the stats came out the other day that in the first round, John Daly smoked 18 cigarettes, had six Diet Cokes, excuse me, and
Bro,
zero point zero ounces of water.
your
Um,
numbers are a little off there, man. It was
are they?
21 cigarettes, 12 Diet Cokes, and
Oh,
six
shit.
bags of peanut M&Ms with no water consumed.
I mean, are we talking about those type of numbers with you on the course right now? Maybe beers consumed up instead of cigs consumed, or are we talking the same amount of consumption right now?
It was a little bit of a tame day today.
Okay.
You know, had to, responsibly drive myself home afterwards.
Oh,
So
responsibly, of course.
now I am going back out tomorrow afternoon to play another 18. That will be a slightly less responsible 18. I can tell you that already.
There we go, Noah. I will be awaiting the stats at your account at Engel Money Train just so that we can get those stats so that I know how to handicap myself when the next time we get on the course. We always got to shout out John Daly whenever we have the opportunity. But Noah, let's put everything aside because bro, it's been a big fucking week. Okay, let's talk. Put NHL, put NBA aside, but we also have college playoffs going on right now. Baseball and softball. U of A obviously going to dominate both because we're the fucking best. Noah, you're the expert when it comes to this. I guess I should have put college savant instead of soon to be baseball savant. That's my bad on the nickname aspect. I will get better, I promise you. But what are we looking at going into this college playoffs with the softball and the baseball? I mean, obviously, baseball, the college baseball World Series, I keep close contact with because U of A boys always do well. But last couple of years, the U of A ladies have also done extremely well in the playoffs. What are we looking at this season, and why should I bet everything on U of A?
Well, I'll just so U of A softball. We are in the tournament. Didn't get a home regional. Baseball probably won't get a home regional for that either. Hopefully, we are good enough to get
Okay.
a decent draw though with baseball. Um, in case you're unfamiliar with the format for any of you viewers with both the softball and the baseball, it starts with 16 regionals. So 64 teams are in. Top 16 teams get to host a regional. It's a double elimination tournament essentially between the four teams in each regional. Then you move on to a super regional where you play a best of three series against somebody. And then it's another, and then the final eight teams go to the, World Series for both of them. And then that format is, again, you have two groupings of four, the two teams, and then it kind of crisscrosses a little bit from there. But just so you know, the big thing to start is the regionals and the super regionals. Softball regionals started today. Shout out to U of A winning 8-3 over Illinois, starting it off good. Baseball, I believe, starts a week from Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, solid. So
So,
sounds like starting off solid for the Wildcats.
yep. I mean, hey, starting off with a nice 8-3 win, can't complain about that. Oklahoma, the number one overall seed, they're frequently up there in this tournament. Pac-12 with a number of teams in for softball as they do every year. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully Arizona can make it out of this regional, and then some opportunities there.
Opportunity is there, and hopefully there'll be the one Arizona team where when the opportunity is there, it will strike. Because shout out to the Cardinals and the Suns for not capitalizing on opportunity, taking about as big of a dump as Amber Heard took in this trial and on Johnny Depp's bed. She'd love being an Arizona sports fan, Noah, if you can't tell. I fucking love being an Arizona sports fan. Okay, I'm better now. Anything else on college baseball or softball that we need to be aware of, or anything betting wise that we should know about before we dive into anything deeper?
I mean, good luck finding lines for college softball on any book. That would kind of surprise me. Baseball, they might, as it gets a little deeper in, they might have baseball lines. Okay, yeah, softball's, I'd be shocked, but you never know. I'm sure it's on somebody's book somewhere.
Well, yeah, you go to any corner bookie, I'm sure they'll draw a line for it, or even go to your, Costa Rican / Bovada. I'm sure they have lines for it, but we don't promote sketchy booking here. We promote responsible gambling, of course, Noah, right?
Yes, always. Gamble responsible, drink responsibly.
Yes, smoke responsibly. Just be responsible. Don't be a dipshit. I think that's our motto. I'm good with that. With that being said, Noah, let's talk about the NHL playoffs. Obviously, going into full force right now. We are into round 2. Anything shocking so far that you've seen in the series? My biggest
the fucking 9-6 Calgary and Edmonton game 2 nights ago. Like, what is going on with that? I had the under in that game. I think when I said under 6, I mistyped it. I meant under 16.
Yeah, seriously, bro. I mean, shit. I'm someone who, I took Calgary. I took I took the Flames minus the 1.5 and the over. I took it that morning on Degenerate Coffee Talk / Degenerate Takes Morning. Check it out every morning, either streaming at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. West Coast time. But I was talking about that game. I felt like it was an over game. I took the over. I took the over and the Calgary again in this game, thinking of something similar. 6.5 again. I'm looking for a 7-point game, even if it goes into overtime at 3-3. I think the Flames pull it out. 1.5 would just be a little sketch at that point, but not too worried about it. But I mean, besides the Flames coming out hot, but Avalanche losing splitting the series 1-1. Does that shock you at all? And does that worry you for the Avalanche to take the series?
Not yet.
No.
I thought they would win both of these at home.
As did I,
but I think I took the Avs in 5 in this series, so I figured the Blues would take a game. They might even take a second one, but I don't think there's a whole lot to worry about yet. I do know there's a mountain of skeletons in the closet of Avalanche fans when it comes to early playoff exits with really good teams. I believe they haven't made it past the second round, and I don't even know how long. So we'll see. Obviously, you do have that in the back of your mind, but this team is just so much better than the Blues team. However, I will say Jordan Binnington on the Blues is maybe playing the best out of any goalie this entire playoffs.
Now, Noah, the Avalanche fans can't have as many skeletons in the closet as Nick Saban in Alabama, but that's a conversation for later. I'm not worried either. I do agree with you that the Blues are going to probably take one more at home. I figure it to be the first game coming out. We'll talk about tomorrow on Degenerate Takes Morning Edition or Coffee Talk, whatever the fuck I decided to call it at that time in the morning before I've had my coffee. But definitely looking at them to, the Avalanche to continue to move forward. Hurricanes and the Rangers, that series kind of playing out how I've thought so far, obviously getting game 2 tonight after this recording. And I got to get on the soapbox one more time. No, I'm going to get on it one more time for the Degens out there. If you are not watching playoff hockey. I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your time watching TV. I really don't. Now, if you're watching NBA playoffs, fine, I'll give you that. We're in the conference finals. That's a little bit more important at this time. But if you're just sitting there, you're scrolling through the channels, oh, there's nothing on. Blah, blah, blah. No, there's NHL, Stanley Cup playoff hockey on. Do yourself a favor, give it a watch, throw $10 on it and enjoy the game. Noah, I'm getting off the soapbox now. Anything else to say about the NHL before we move on?
I mean, just as far as tonight, I'm on the Rangers and the Flames. I think the Rangers are gonna. I do think. I mean, game one was theirs. Carolina stole game one. New York looked like they were going to win that 1-0. Carolina scoring with 2 minutes left to force overtime. I think New York played really, really well. Even their coach came out and said that might have been their best game of the season, which is funny to say after a 2-1 overtime loss. But
yeah, seriously.
Both of these teams very, very good. I'm sure we'll have another battle at our hands.
Now, I do want to address one thing really quick, Noah, before we move on to the NBA. If the Rangers do go down 0-2 in the series, in the long term, how does this affect LeBron James' legacy? Him being a bandwagon fan, he's probably joining New York right now. I mean, he has not made a formal statement on who he is supporting in the playoffs right now, but you got to assume he's going to go for one of those high market New York teams. So if the Rangers go down 0-2, how does this affect LeBron James in the long term?
All right. And on that note,
NBA playoffs going on, Noah. This actually could affect LeBron's legacy. Before we get into this, like, playoffs and everything, one thing we have not talked about on this show yet, Pat Beverly going on ESPN and just being a complete, like, bro, like shout out. He was a complete degenerate on the fucking show, disrespecting Chris Paul, calling out everyone, respecting the wrong people. What more specifically though, Chris Paul, I have my thoughts on Chris Paul. Like, he will never get a ring. His wife should probably divorce him because he doesn't deserve that ring. No, I'm joking. But Chris Paul, it's done. You know what I mean? We've tried this whole thing. I'm over it. But I would not go to the lengths that Pat Beverly did to disrespect him and call him out the way he did. I do think Chris Paul is one of the better players that has stepped foot on the court when it comes to the NBA. I do believe he was the veteran leader the Suns needed. However, times have changed. I think we have moved on from what we need him to do versus what we need him to produce. And that's a different conversation. But for Pat Beverly to go out and explicitly say, like, this guy's a joke and everything that he said, completely disagree with it. Would love to hear your thoughts on it, though, bro.
Right, you do realize that Chris Paul is like one of the players that Patrick Beverly personally hates the most. So he sees a perfect window of opportunity to go on live TV and just kick a man while he's down. And,
yes.
And nothing that he said had any validity to it. Calling Chris Paul a traffic cone, saying he doesn't play defense. Pretty sure Chris Paul's been like first team all defensive team like 7, 8, 9 times in his career. He's led the league in steals 3 times in his career. Chris Paul is no mediocre, no joke at playing defense. This is just Pat Bev just taking shots because somebody decided it was a good idea to give Pat Bev a microphone and a stage.
Yeah, whose call was that? Whose call was that?
I don't know. And you know what? I think he's trying to be kind of like Stephen A. Smith, like just yell and be loud. But guess what? Stephen A. Smith actually makes decent points some of the time. Pat Bev's just out here running his mouth, shitting on NBA players. And if you're going to do that, why not shit on Luka? Obviously
shit on someone.
ESPN would, censor the shit out of that because they're too busy, sucking him off. But, I mean, that dude, I love his play. I've said it before. He's a really, really great player. He's fun to watch, but God, he just flops like a fish and he just bitches at the refs all game long.
Bro, I can't believe it's possible, but he whines more than Dave Portnoy does on a regular basis. And Jesus Christ, that motherfucker can whine like no one else.
And speaking of Luka, we will be seeing him in action tonight.
That's what God, do we have to?
MJ?
Oh, that's what they call it in the business. You're learning, Noah. Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, Golden State, Dallas, game 2. Are we going to see another absolute bloodbath?
Bro.
I think so.
I mean, like I think before this program airs, ESPN is it today's Friday? Yeah, ESPN should be broadcasting this, right? Or ABC?
Somebody.
Yeah, so
I'm sure it'll be on TV.
They need to do what they do at the beginning of some very disturbing movies on TV when they play them that are rated R usually, but they're edited for content and blah, blah, blah. But they need to post something that says, warning, this is a fucking bloodbath. You will see grown men dead and crying. And that's what I think is going to happen to the Mavs tonight. Honestly, PETA is probably going to start suing the Warriors for the damage they're going to be doing and the abuse they're going to be doing to the Dallas Mavericks. And, it's just one of those things. The Splash Boys are here, and they're here to stay, all of them. It's funny. I saw something about Klay Thompson being pissed off about Jordan Poole getting a shot, but that's neither here or there. Regardless, this is going to be a bloodbath. Cannot wait to tune in. I will be wearing my poncho just in case the blood that is spewed from that arena reaches to my house. But yeah, bro.
Clay's just mad because he's about to be replaced.
Dude, honestly,
by not saying that Poole is better than Clay,
no,
but he can do almost what Clay can at a right now much cheaper price point. I don't think the Warriors are going to split ways with Klay Thompson, but keep an eye out for it. It is a possibility if they decide to just run Curry and Poole and then go and pick up some other superstar at like center and kick Klay to the curb. I don't think they'll do it, but they could. I could see it potentially happening.
No. One thing that I've heard recently among a lot of NBA writers and people who talk about the NBA is that the 5 spot, that center position, is kind of dead at this point. You know what I mean? You can just kind of throw any tall motherfucker in there as long as they can. You know what I mean? And so, Embiid, but with Embiid, Embiid is probably the only true center in the game.
Jokic, I mean, he's a little unconventional, but Jokic still an absolute threat. There's a couple of them still floating around that really make a difference.
No, but here's what I'm saying. Get rid of Clay. LeBron keeps his house in California, but just has a little bit of a commute up north. Plays with the guy he says he wants to play with the most, Steph Curry. And then ball out for a year and then see where Bronny goes. The Lakers are going to be in a fucking rebuild the next 2 years. LeBron, I know that we've talked about this on the show and have said LeBron has never left the team. He's always played out his contract. But depending on how much salary cap he is taking up and how badly they want to rebuild from the ground up, look to LeBron to go and play with his buddy Steph Curry. Again, that is pure speculation. We are degenerates who like to talk into a microphone. And take that at you will. Noah, besides that, last thing I want to cover really quick, and then we will get out of here. The Nick Saban, Jimbo Fisher, Deion Sanders stuff. I've talked about it a little bit on the morning show, but wanted to get your thoughts on it. How much validity does it have? And do you think Nick Saban is completely honest about being as straightforward as he is?
Dude, Saban should have just kept his mouth shut. I could go on and on and on about this. I'll keep it a little shorter. Obviously Saban's only out here complaining because his massive competitive advantage that he's had for years and years and years on recruiting is now gone. He doesn't have that competitive advantage on recruits. So he's upset about that. It could get into a whole nother tangent, but I won't today about, how the NIL stuff is affecting everything, yada, yada, yada. But he was stupid to go and directly call out Jimbo Fisher because Jimbo, a former assistant for a number of years under Saban, and Jimbo kind of alluded to it. He's like, Jimbo's kind of, I respect to him for being like, oh, if you really want to go there, he's like, Jimbo's like,
I got the key to the closet with the skeletons, bro. Like, I got the key. Like
he's like, I got the receipts for your dirty laundry. So, Saban, man, he shouldn't have gone there in the first place. Like, he should have just kept his mouth shut. I know he's pissed off because his competitive edge is now mostly gone. As far as recruiting goes, I still think he's an excellent, fantastic coach, even though like he's not getting all the 5 stars in the country anymore. They're going other places. A&M, yeah, they fucking bought their recruiting class. I don't know, they spent like 35 million on this football recruiting class. Essentially, it's kind of a rough number that I heard. I mean, I'm not saying Saban's wrong. I'm not saying Jimbo's wrong in what he said. I just think Saban shouldn't have, like, for his own sake, shouldn't have even started this in the first place. Should have just kept this. And then he's trying to like back off of it and like be like, wait. Oh, that's not really what I meant. And it's like, no, you meant what you said. And now you're just upset because it's blowing up in your face.
I will say, Noah, as an anti-Alabama person, this could not be going more beautifully for me. Like when I wrote The Self-Destruction of Nick Saban, this chapter wasn't included, but I'm so happy that it is. And it's just going to lead to so much more because Jimbo Fisher saying, go look, there's going to be some asshole out there is just a little bit too curious who's about to unravel all of this. And it's going to be the downfall of the rolling tide, and the roll will stop with Nick Saban and getting everything in the SEC all effed up. I'm here for the drama. I'm here for all of it.
They'll be fine. I mean, don't act
like. Well, yeah, the NCAA is almost as more corrupt as the FIFA. I mean, shit. But that's a conversation for later.
Bama's just maybe not going to be the favorite to win the championship, year in and year out now.
Honestly. Yeah, maybe it might be A&M for once. Fuck.
They'll still be a top 10, top 5 team every single year. Like, don't get that mistaken. But their recruiting classes might not be the same, like head and shoulders above what most teams are doing anymore.
They might not. Noah, that's kind of all I got on the docket for today. I mean, obviously follow us on Twitter, myself at Brofict1, him at _Engelbretson, or at Engel Money Train for all of his betting picks and everything. Us at Degenerate at Degen Takes on the Twitter. Noah, do you have anything to say to the Degens before we sign off tonight?
Yep, not quite official, as we do still have some guys on hole 17 and 18, it looks like, but Tiger Woods should be making the cut for the second event in a row. Shout out to Tiger, 3 over. That cut's projected at 4 over, so he should be fine.
Hell yeah, bro. Congrats to Tiger Woods. Hopefully John Daly.
We'll see some Sunday red, baby. John Daly. Did
he not make it?
No, I think he shot 4 over today. Gonna miss the cut by 2 strokes.
Damn, I want to see his stats on his SIGs to see if it improved. If his SIGs improved, then I'll be happy at least. With that being said, I will be live at least tomorrow morning around 9 a.m., 10 a.m. West Coast time. Follow us on Twitter again at Degen Takes for final updates. Noah might be live with me, but I highly doubt it. He's got to go and hustle some people out of some money tomorrow in golf. With that being said, we'll see you next time on